Hello, Professor Yerby here in the Digital Forensics Lab. Today I'm going to be just going over some of the mobile forensics tools that we have available here in the lab and to kind of give you an idea of some of the pieces of hardware that you may use in a forensics investigation. So my video is going to be pretty shaky because I'm just holding it in my hand and I'm just kind of doing this a little unscripted here. So we'll start with our Projector Phone. So you see we have a high quality web camera here mounted to a system where all of our pictures will be the same, same zoom, same quality, and it's mounted to the table and it's on there pretty firmly. What you would do is you would take your feature phone, one that you're not able to acquire logically, and you would conduct your investigation. I think I've had the power off on this thing too long. Yep. So what you would do is you would conduct your investigation by turning the phone on, and then you would take screenshots through every step of the way. Some reason my power's not working on here. No problem. Moving on, have a device seizure toolkit, and we'll go through here. So I'll just start at one end of the bag. So here we have a power supply to keep power on a phone that's on. This is great because it can be inside of something like a Faraday bag to block communications, but still keep power to the phone if you're going to be able to acquire it right away. You don't want to make any changes. Have a AC adapter to plug in various USB connections, and I have several different USB connections. You'll see that they're pretty neatly labeled. I've taken a few in and out here, so we can see that this is for a Nokia, and this is for some old BlackBerry, and these are for some Samsungs and some LG cables. So I have about 12 cables here or so, and that will cover a large majority of what you need. Also have things kind of like this little snake cable where it's a single connector, and then it has a variety of different types of connectors that I can use this for data or power depending on the device. In here I also have a SIM card. So this is what a regular SIM card or a micro SIM card, the size of it, and then this is a regular SIM card. You see the size difference there? So this is how you'll usually get these. This one right here is actually a clonable SIM card. So I can take one SIM card regardless of size, because I have something in here that's an adapter. So if I start with a nano or a micro and I need to get it to a normal size SIM card, I can do that. And then this little metal tool in here, that's for removing SIM cards, specifically designed for GSM iPhones. I had an iPhone here, but it's not GSM, so this is a Verizon phone. If it was GSM, I would see here on the side, I would see a little slot over here where I could take my little metal tool, press it in, and then the SIM card would pop out. So this is CDMA. These other devices are CDMA. What else do I have in here? In here I have a drive that can take SD cards or micro SD cards. See if I can get that to focus. Well, it's not wanting to focus. Anyways, I can take a card, and this little port here opens, and then in there I can insert either a micro or a standard SD card, and then this flips around to turn to a USB port, so I can plug that into a forensics workstation and run some analysis on it. Alright, let's see what else I have in here. That's another clonable card here. And I had a SIM card reader, but I'm not able to find it right now. And then other things, so one thing to keep in mind when you're doing an investigation, you'll want to get familiar with the type of phone that you're doing. So this is some little LG phone. All right. But you'll want to figure out, does this case come off? All right. So we have this iPhone here. Case doesn't come off. To tear this down, there's quite a bit of work. You start with these two little screws with these special shaped bits, and you'll need, some special equipment. Hopefully for most investigations, you won't need to tear this thing down. If it's booting up and you can get it to connect and communicate with your computer, you should be able to proceed. But devices like these, so there's not any evidence of any external storage, or we don't know if this is CDMA or GSM, so we don't know if we're dealing with a SIM card or not. All right, so I figured out that the back comes off. Right, so we take the back off. We would photograph this along the way, just to again maintain documentation of what's happened. We have a battery. We can just lift that out. Then under the battery, you'll see some useful information such as the model number. You'll see the serial number that will be included, and you also see the MEID, so that'll be included. And then it happens to give us the maker of the phone, which is a track phone. So probably see some of these involved in a criminal investigation. And then one other thing we see, if we weren't too hasty and too excited that we acquire the phone, that there's some sort of storage in here, and so you can pull that storage out. Some of these you'll press down and they're kind of spring loaded and it'll pop out. Some of them you just grab it and you just yank on, not yank on it hard, but just pull it out. Then you would document this and you would investigate this as well. So that is a micro SD card, right? And actually there may be some damage to the phone. If I'm looking in here, you see these two little pins here. Usually you don't want to see connectors moving, but you see when I press that in, that those connectors are moving back and forth. So who knows? That's not what I'm worried about right now. But all of these phones happen to be CDMA phones. But my feature phone over here is, again, so I got to know how to get into the devices. I'm going to try to do this one-handed. There we go. So get that out. Look for storage. This is an older phone, so it's not going to have, it's not really going to have storage. Have that. And I think I just took the SIM card out a minute ago, so that's why the SIM card should be in this slot here, and I have this device here to lock it in and unlock it. Right now I'm looking around trying to remember where I set that SIM card. So that would be bad for an investigation, to lose chain of custody, to lose where evidence is. So where did I put that? I don't know. I'm sure I will find it in just a moment. And then the last thing that's handy from Paraben are these reference cards that gives you information on what to do, what types of things to look for different types of devices. Tells you if something's on, do not turn it off. Put it in a Faraday bag with a battery supply. If you try to put it in a Faraday bag and run a cable out to charge it to your car charger or to an AC charger, you may as well not put it in the Faraday bag. That one little wire out is going to very likely allow signal in, and then someone could do something like remote wipe or lock. All right, I'm out of battery, so I will wrap it up here. Thank you.